Also take the example of Khadija radiallahu anha. In the most deepest and the darkest times of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this woman was his beloved. This woman was his soulmate. This woman was it for him. Subhanallah. He married her and she was patient. He went to the cave of Hira for 6 months or 8 months, only to come back to just get some food and then go up again. And she was patient. He struggled to spread the religion, would be out of the home, not have enough money to bring back home for food. She would be patient. And yet on the day when he came back from the cave of Hira thinking that he had gone mad, it was she. It was Khadija radiallahu anha who said, Kalla, no, Allah will never disgrace you. La yukhzik Allah. Allah will never disgrace you. It was she who did it. Do you know the effect of the actions of Khadija on this man Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Let me demonstrate how deeply and madly this man was in love with this woman due to her actions. In one authentic narration in Bukhari, it's narrated that the Prophet ﷺ was asleep. And this was in Medina, when he was asleep, and he was in the hut of Aisha radiallahu anha, asleep at that time. Suddenly, a woman knocked on the door and said, Assalamu alaikum. Said what? Assalamu alaikum. Suddenly the Prophet woke up in complete shock and bewilderment. Imagine waking up like you're asleep. He had just heard a sound that sounded like Khadija. Why? Because that was Hala, the sister of Khadija, whose voice resembled the voice of Khadija. Subhanallah. So Rasulullah had just heard the voice of Khadija again. And he could not forget that voice. Of all voices, the one that he could never ever make him forget was the voice of his soulmate, Khadija radiallahu anha. Because he could recognize that. He could recognize that forever, and he would never ever forget it. So what did he say? Listen to what he said. Oh Allah, ij'alha hala, ya Allah, ij'alha hala. Said what? Oh Allah, don't torture me. Make this the voice of Hala, Ya Rabb. Make this Hala, not Khadija. Don't make me hear voices, Ya Allah. Make this the voice of Hala. Amazing. Amazing. We look for love in the worst of places. In the darkest and the coldest and the ugliest and the deepest part of the night. Wrong places. This is love. A love when a man is still in love with a woman many years after she has passed away. Many years after even her family has forgotten about her. This is what you call love. So at that point, Aisha radiallahu anha saw the expression of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what do you think she said? She said, Ya Rasulullah, O Prophet of God, what do you want with a woman who has passed away and her bones have dried up and she's become dust? La ilaha illallah. One thing you can't get rid of is jealousy. Right? What do you want with a woman who's passed away, bones become dry and become dust? What do you want with her? And then she said, whilst Allah has given you something better than her. Who's she talking about? Right, she's talking about herself, mashallah, so articulate. So what did Rasulullah say? Rasulullah said, no, wallahi, Allah has not given me better than her. Inna Allah razaqani hubbaha. Indeed, Allah has blessed me with her love. My brothers, my sisters, the challenge on you sisters is to make your husbands fall in love like Khadija made Rasulullah fall in love with her. The challenge for you is to create a husband that loves you long after you pass away. The challenge for you is to create a husband so madly in love that he'll be like Shah Jahan. Who knows Shah Jahan? Who knows Shah Jahan? No one knows Shah Jahan? Shah Jahan, the one who built Taj Mahal. Remember the one? Who knows the story of Shah Jahan? He had this really pretty wife called Mumtaz. And Mumtaz said that, you have to promise me you'll never get married to anyone after me, which he readily promised. And then thereafter, when she passed away from childbirth, then thereafter he built a huge palace and he got all the most amazing stones from all the deepest parts of the Ganges and from all different parts of India. And then, did you know about the story? Then after they built that big mausoleum to house the grave of Mumtaz, who had become dust and bones by now, right? To build that mausoleum, he poked their eyes out and he cut their hands off. Of all the workers, 2,000 workers it took to build that huge thing. He cut their hands off and he poked their eyes out. Please brothers, don't do that. Okay, but obviously the reason why he did that was because he didn't want anyone to ever build another replica of the Taj Mahal. Okay? And he did that as a dedication to his wife Mumtaz. All I'm going to say is Mumtaz. Mumtaz means excellent or perfect, right, in Arabic.